kick it off. All right. It is streaming live. This is the 29th of January, the continuation of Saturday's call. It just was too much going on and I had to go to work. So part two is going to finish up where I left off at. I do have a better diagram to explain what I was talking about as far as the sub accounts and what have you is concerned. And also, I took it a step further and did the same diagram or depiction for your wallets. Okay, so just to do a recap, and I'm not going to go too deep because the recording is on there. If you didn't get a chance to make it to the Saturday call, just click on the Saturday call, adult crypto class, and that's where we went over it. Now, we left off talking about the use of these accounts, how you manage your finances, money, whatever you want to call it, the proper way. Most, if not all of us, were not given these avenues or instructions because our parents didn't know it. And it was not given to you by the bank or institution that you opened the account. They just said, here's your card, have a great day. You learned a little bit about your signature, which is, a whole nother category of conversation in itself. But you should have a better idea and understanding about your signature and the reasons why certain things have to be signed in wet ink, as they call it. Wet ink means something. The word, just that whole phrase, means something. We'll go into that stuff later. I do have a couple appointments today, so I'm going to kind of make this quick. My apologies. Trying to get done. Okay, so I'm looking at two more and then make it back for the call. It's a little challenging, but we'll get it. All right, so part two. Let me share my screen so you can see what I was referring to. It should pop any second. All right, you should be now looking at this depiction. All right, so what you are currently looking at is what I was talking about. Notice at the top, I'm going to go through this a little slow, main bank account, okay? Main bank account is going to have a checking account. Notice how there's nothing there next to it. It just says checking account. Main bank account is also going to have a savings account. Notice how there's nothing next to it. It just says savings account. Now let's go back up here. So the main bank account is basically what they call a pass through. Money passes through it. It doesn't sit down. Pass right on through. Where does it pass to? As you can see here in this demonstration, sub account 1, let's call it the house note. Nothing else, just whatever the house note is. The reason for all these accounts that you see here is so that you can separate things out of the house note. So let's say that the house note is $2,300. That's your house note. That's the only thing that should go in this sub account. Now, here's where I think a lot of people got confused, and hopefully this will clear it up. Main bank account is a checking account. So whatever source, notice left hand, your right, probably on the screen, whatever the source is that's coming in, comes into the main bank account, into the checking account. Okay, that's how they can send it to you, ACH, whatever, your paycheck, direct deposit. It hits that account first. Now, most of us know when that happens. If it's direct deposit, you get it like 11 o'clock the day before. You kind of know when your money hits, and you have to be, vigilant on that date and time. When it hits, the first thing you can even have it go to main bank account savings account, so it never hits the checking, just in case you're asleep. If it comes in at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, you're asleep because you got to go to work in the morning. You don't have time to be, when's there, when's it there, when's it there? So you can change that yourself. All you have to do is update the account number to where your direct deposit goes. It can go to the savings account. It'll have its own account number. Okay, you just give them that number and say, I want my direct deposit to go here. So you can wake up at your leisure, go to work, come back, and then move these monies. Okay, there's no, it's not in jeopardy because no one can see it. It's not going to get, tampered with because it's in a savings account. It's not exposed. All right. So that's, if you are doing direct deposit, that's what you'll have to do. You have to switch the account to which they send it to. If you're not doing direct deposit and it's just, you get a check or whatever, you have to deposit it. You know how that goes. But if you do what is known as a mobile deposit, that's with your bank and your online banking. So you would log into your bank account on your phone. And a mobile deposit is, you would take, what I do with my little fake check here, you would take your check or that check, okay, and you would sign it. See, here we go with that signature. You sign it, and then you take that check, you log into your checking, your bank account, and you go to deposit check. Okay, you can tell it, okay, I want to deposit a check, and then it's going to say, which account do you want to put it in? Bingo. So you can choose your savings account. It'll be there. You choose, okay, I want it to go into the savings account, and that's pretty much it. What do you do? How do you do it? So once you select the account you want it to go to, you're going to say, ready, go. It'll say, how much is the check? You put that in. Some of them don't even ask that. Depends on who you have and what yours is set up to do. It's going to ask you everything right here on the phone. And once it's ready, it's going to say, take a picture of the front of the check. Okay, so you have to get over top of it, make sure there's no shadows, get a good picture. You'll have a little box inside of your camera, and you'll get right over top of it and take it. Some of them will take it by itself. When it sees a good picture, it'll just snap it. Mine does. Wells Fargo's does. Who else does that? Because I was going to take the picture and it took it before I could push the button. One United takes it. So you get the front. It'll say, okay, it'll tell you good picture. Then you turn it over where your signature is. You take a picture of that, click, done. And it'll, do all its little calculation. It'll say, okay, it'll be ready a day from now or whatever. You don't care because it's going in your savings account. It can get there when it gets there. Okay. So that's a mobile deposit. You get to choose where you put that money. Okay. It doesn't always have to go to the checking account. You can put it right into the savings. If someone is sending you funds, let's say that you have your bank account attached to Cash App. And when they send those funds, or Zelle, that's the other one, Zelle, you can tell Zelle, I want it to go to savings account, not checking account. You have the choice where those funds go when they come in. Okay. All you have to do is select it. All right. So that's depositing that way. Now, I'm going to scroll back up here and I want to go down this list. Notice it's saying sub account 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can have as many as you want. Now, someone asked the question, well, what if the bank charges a specific amount to have all of these sub accounts? Well, first of all, you have to look at one thing. Main bank account. That's the only one they should be charging you for. Notice how it says bank account, not sub account of a bank account. Two different things. One is a sub, one is a main. They can charge you, I don't know, I have to read the bylaws of whatever your check, when you got your checking account, you have to read. Remember I was saying, 90% of the people have not read that contract, even to this date. It may be upstairs under the bed or wherever you put it. I guarantee you haven't read it. But for argument's sake, let's say you read it and it says, okay, you have to maintain $500 in this account or we're going to charge you so much, $5, $12, whatever it is. And you say, oh, whatever, I need a checking account. Yeah, I'll sign for it. Now you're liable to that because you signed for it. So if they need 500 in this main account or they'll charge you whatever, you have to keep 500 in that account. Now, that's a tit for tat, push or pull, you or me, them or those. You have to read what the contract states at the time you sign up for that checking account. If you already got it, you already got it. You just need to know what the parameters are. If you don't know, all you have to do is either call the bank or the next time you go into the bank, sit down and talk to one of the bankers. Tell them what you want to do. I want to open some sub accounts on this main account. I don't want to open 9 different accounts. It's what you say. If you go sit down and say, I want to open up 9 accounts, why do you need 9 accounts? Remember that question? Now, if you boast off and say, before you listen and said the right thing and say, well, it's personal and I'm going to do my business. Okay, great. You have that option, but you started out wrong. You said, if you said it, I want to open up 9 different accounts. They're going to open 9 accounts and you're going to sign 9 contracts. That's why they're going to ask you, why do you need so many? All you have to do is open sub accounts. Ding! Some of them will say it, some won't. They don't want you to know this information because if they teach you, that means they're teaching you how to bank properly and manage your money. They don't want you to do that. It's unfortunate. And if there's some bankers on here or tellers, shame on you. You should teach your people. So, by rights, they can charge you for this main account because that is a bank account freestanding. Okay, that is a account that you opened under their roof. Now, when you sit down in that chair, the proper thing to say is, here's my debit card and my account. Can you pull up my account? Okay, they're going to say, sure, Mr. Lewis. They'll clickety click, click, click. Look at your debit card. Da, 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 da. They already know who you are when you come into the place, if you go there a lot, like I do. But if they don't, they'll get your account up and you'll say, yes, well, you have a Premier account and this, that, or the other. You can do this. And then the first thing you want to ask, how many times can I use that account? Just in case you didn't read the contract, what are my limits of use of that account? Okay? Ask that question if you don't know it already. And that's one way to find out what, I got to make sure I got the numbers covered, what control they have over you. Remember I was talking about, they can shut your stuff off if you use it too many times, or they can limit your use of your money because you used it too many times. Remember me talking about that? That's how you can get that information. And then they're going to say, yeah, well, you have this many times you can use this. You can get a credit card if you like. You can do this or that. Get all your information that's in the contract that you signed for and didn't read. Yeah, I'm picking on you because I know you didn't. All right. So once you got that information, you're good. So you can either tell them, can you print that out so I can keep track of my purchases? Make them think that you don't know what's going on, but you will know what's going on before you even walk in there if you're paying attention today. So when you sit down, you get your information that you need just so that you're on track. You're going to say, well, Mr. or Mrs. Banker, I would like to open, I don't know, depending on how many different bills you're paying would really depend on how many subs you need. So you want to have that information worked out first. Now, if you look at, I'm going to jump to the screen real quick and look at what you see here. You see house note, you see car note, and you see insurance. Okay, it's the third one down. It's the most expensive bill in everybody's house. Next to the house note, of course. Why? Because you have so many. You have the house insurance, you have the car insurance, you have life insurance, you have renter's insurance. Whatever you have insured, or whatever liability that you have, car, motorcycle, boat, Winnebago, they all have insurance. You have to keep that insurance, right? So it says insurance, but there will be slash, 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 slash. All right. So all the insurances that you pay for go in that sub account. So you'll have to make sure that you maintain enough in the savings account of insurance. Notice down here, savings account and sub savings account. Notice how they're the same? Insurance. All right. So you would put all the insurance payments in the insurance sub account. So it's safe. Now, I myself would try to schedule your payments 3 days prior to the actual day that it needs to be paid. 3 days prior. Okay? So you're going to move all of your insurance payments into the insurance sub account, and 3 days prior, or that day of whatever you choose, you're going to move it here to be deducted. Okay, you're going to move it to the insurance checking account. I know that's a little confusing. Let me go over it slow, and then I'll finish where I was at. Main bank account is going to get all the money. When main bank account gets it, it's going to send it to savings. Or you can have it come into savings account. Okay? That's source. Source is going to feed these guys, savings account. Then the savings account is going to move it to the savings account broke down. So whatever insurance, let's say out of, I don't know, 4 different vehicles, let's just keep the numbers easy to remember. We're just going to say $300. $300 out of the main savings account is going to go to insurance savings account and sit there, because that may not be ready or due until next month, right? You get a paycheck every week for those who are still working, or every 2 weeks, or once a month, depending on how people are getting paid. You know when your money comes in. It's going to go to savings, and you're going to put your insurance payments in sub-account insurance. That's why they have to be identical. House note, car note, insurance. House note, car note, insurance. Okay? So I just jumped over there just to show you what I'm going to say next would be the reason why I had to do that. So they're going to ask you, well, how many do you want? You're going to say, I need to open some sub accounts off of my main account. These are unlimited. Okay? at least by Wells Fargo, PNC, and One United, because I call them and ask them, how many subs can I put on there? It's unlimited, but we prefer you only do a certain amount. Of course you prefer that. You want me to stay in those regular accounts so people can steal it. But anyway, it's hard to stay on track these days. There's so much going on. People are stealing money and stuff. It's hard to have a single conversation. There's always these side variants of it. Anyway, you say, I need 9 subs. They're going to say, 9 subs? Why do you need so many? Now you can be lippy and say, well, that's private, and it's called money management. Thank you. That's all you have to say. And then they will commence to creating these accounts. And you also say, I need sub accounts that have savings accounts. So I need identical checking and saving 9 times subbed under this main account. Let's say that again. I need 9 subs with checking and savings under this main account that you're looking at. Okay, Mr. Lewis, that's going to take a few minutes. I have time. They will create these accounts, one after the next, after the next, after the next. Now, they may ask you, do you want to put something in them? What's the minimum? $25. Okay, so let's do 4 of them, because you may only have $100 on you. They may charge you for them. They're not supposed to, I don't think. But if they do, don't argue. Get them, because you're going to need them. Okay? You're going to need these 2 setups or this scenario to bank properly and to stay what they call money managed. Okay? So the movement of these monies is your responsibility, which makes you more aware of where your money's at, where it's going, who's spending what, and why. Well, I just need gym shoes. Okay. What's wrong with the ones you got on? Okay. That's how it happens. We spend money here, we spend money there. You know, you got your paycheck that morning. Before you get to the house, you spent $300. And you didn't keep track of it. You don't know where it went, who got it, why, and you just know, wait a minute, my check was $800. You get to the house and you got $500. Where did $300 go? Did everybody ever do that? Where did the money go? You spend it so fast you didn't even see it happen. See, this process stops that. And what it does is make you accountable for every penny that you earn or spend, because you have to see it happen. It's going to go to somewhere, savings account. It's going to go here first. So if the babies are jumping up and down, or the hubby's jumping up and down, I need some new shoes, I need a new jacket. Wait a minute. Let's do it the proper way. Send it to the savings account, and then go to whatever sub account that you're going to spend that out of. Because you have to budget. Okay, you have to budget what's coming in. And trust me, no one taught me this stuff until I got in trouble. Well, how did you get in trouble, Mr. Lewis? Spending money before I got it to the bank. Going to the store, I got my paycheck. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to get this jacket. I'm going to get this new hat. Get to the house. Why do I only have $400? And some people do it worse. They may stop by the casino, and the check never gets to the house. See, this practice really should give you the understanding of how a banker works. And that's why I'm teaching this. I want you to think like a banker. Because the only way you can be a banker is if you think like one. Does that make sense? So this process is called money management. Okay? You thought it was just having a checking account, right? I got a checking account. I got a debit card. I can go get what I want when I want to. Sort of. But for the most part, this process makes you accountable, makes whoever it is, whoever is handling the money accountable for finances. At any given time, you can go into your records and see how much was spent on car note to date, because it's going to keep a record. You ever notice that you may get an email, text, or a letter in the mail that says your monthly statement? Most of us look at it, oh yeah, that's the monthly statement, throw it in the trash. Why? That's your records. Can't do that no more. You cannot do that anymore if that's you. And it was me. That's how I can talk about it, because I used to do that. Oh, it's just a monthly statement. They don't want nothing. It's not a bill. Put right in the trash. So doing this process does a lot for you as far as when you get ready to go do something big, like buy a house, or God forbid you get an audit from the IRS and they want to see where you spent money, how you spent money. Guess what you can do? Pull up any one of these and show them. Here, I spent this on this, I have this on that, and I spent this much, I made this much a year. Because how are they going to know how much you made? The main bank account is also going to have a monthly statement, and it's going to show what went into that account every month or week or whatever. It's going to do a statement. By law, they have to record it. Now, if you get into a situation where you're getting ready to buy a Winnebago and they want to see, well, how much did you make last year? Here, you have it. You can show them. Or you can pull it up on your phone. Here, print it out. There it is. That's how much I made. Okay? It is accountability. Plain and simple. All right? So, I'm just going to go through it real quick one more time, and I'm going to go to the next one below it that you haven't seen yet, but you'll remember it. Main bank account is the account that you have right now. That's the one that you already have a debit card to, and that's the one that you've been burning up at the register every week. This card right here. Well, the one that you keep in your wallet. This one, my personal account card, stays at the house. As you can see, I can pick it up at every call. I don't have to go in my wallet because it never goes in my wallet, ever. I'm already doing this process. That's why I'm teaching it. Okay? Main bank account will have sub accounts. Do you need 9 of them? No. How many do you need? Well, how many bills are you paying? 2 that you will always have to put on there is charity. If you give charity, that's number 1. That's, add to however many you really need. And the other one is your exit from here. No one puts money away for that process unless you have an insurance policy that does that for you. But trust me when I tell you, 90% of the insurance policies that cover that process, it's not enough. It never is. I've seen it happen 4 times. And you would ask, what for? Would you know that information about? 2 of my sisters and 2 of my brothers. I'm speaking to you from experience. And I'm sure some of you have the same story. Well, they got insurance. It'll take care of it. You get to the funeral home, you're like a vacuum. And if you're a mortician on here, I'm not, it's nothing against you. It's just, I've seen it 4 times. You get to the funeral home, everything disappears. You still have to, get the casket. I mean, the other things that are involved with that, and it's never enough. So we're going to do ourself, our family, our survivors a favor. You're going to take $100 a month and put it in one of these sub accounts that you're going to call going home. Okay? 100 a month, 100 a week, depending on what your income is. I know what it's going to be once you go into A Promise Delivered and Team Royal. Put it in there accordingly. You ever heard of something called tithing? That's a true tithe. Okay? You're putting it away for you and them. All right? So that covers bank account. Notice I put wallet, /wallet. Let's go. I'll scroll down to the next page. Ta-da! What do we see? Crypto wallet address account. Well, I'll be ding dang. I'm just going to grab this one and make sure I'm not showing numbers again and pick up this card. This is a wallet. Okay. The wallet is where source comes in. You leave a little bit on here and send the rest where? To the bank. Now, notice wallet sub account 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Now, I didn't put anything next to them because I ran out of time. I'm just going to be honest. It was time to start the call. I'm telling you, running behind as it is. But anyway, no excuses. These wallets, each of these wallets, these sub account wallet 1, that would be WireX. Sub account wallet 2 might be Coinbase. Sub wallet account number 3, you get my point? You already know that I'm going to send you a list of 4 of them that have a wallet and a debit card attached to it. So that's right here. All right? That's your sub accounts in the crypto space. Okay? This one is the dollar space. That's page up. Money, cash, Team Royal. Now you see why you need. Now you see why you need these. I'm going to go over that too. Team Royal has a daily income from $5 up to $15,000 a day. I'm going to pause there for a second. I want you to think about that. Let's just knock it in half and say $3,000 a day. $3,000 a day. That's a lot of money. Where are you going to put it? Hello. You have 9 sub accounts to mess with this bank. And that account, remember, this is just one account in that bank. You open 9 on it. Each one of these accounts can hold $250,000 insured. So let's do a little math, the fun stuff. As soon as my little calculator, okay, oop, there it goes. 9 times, I don't know if I'm sharing this, times 250,000. That's 2.2 mil. So if someone asks you 2,250,000, someone asks you, well, Can you put $1 million in the bank? Yeah. Can you put it in one account? No, you can only put 250,000 in that one account. Yes, you would be right. What if you got 9 sub accounts? Each account can hold 250,000 insured. 9 times 2, what is it? 9 times 250,000 is $2,250,000 in one account. Your main. Now, when they see you deposit that into that account, broke down the way we just talked about it, it's not going to go in these checking accounts. It's going to go to these savings accounts. 250,000 in each one of them. You walk back in the bank, and you sit down with the banker, and you say, you know what? I'm going to open up another account. Yes, sir, Mr. Lewis. How can we help you? Are you going to do the same thing? Yes, I am. You don't even have to say it. They're going to be so happy to see you walk through that door, they will almost carry you to the chair. Trust me. So now, you've done the work, and you've put the cash where you're supposed to put it. You move it to make the bills when you're supposed to move it and make it. They're going to see a track record. They're going to see a process that you are doing. And then they're going to refer you to a wealth manager. Why would they do that? Number one, they see you know what you're doing. Number two, you have a massive amount of money in that account. Okay? Just so you know, and that you are aware, once we make it to the final step in Team Royal, that's $5.5 million a year with one account. You'll have 2. So that's every year. If you do that for 5 years, you could almost become Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, literally. So let's roll down here. Now, the same process. Now that you should be on board with the process, what we just discussed for 40 minutes. Bring it in, use it, distribute it. Now that's going to happen with this. You're only going to allow the bank to see one account. That's why you practice setting things up. The rest of it is going to go where? In your own bank. But see, what we have to remember, Team Royal pays cash. So you're kind of stuck putting that in a bank. A Promise Delivered does not. It pays in crypto. And before long, I do believe Team Royal is going to make that step over there as well. So let's talk about the wallets and let's get this understood, and then I'll take questions because I do have an appointment coming up in 45 minutes. All right, so the crypto wallet, the source is whatever's happening. It's A Promise Delivered, it's the other 2 that are coming that are all 100% crypto. Okay, there will be no cash with that. It's 100% crypto, both of them. Okay, so that's 3 right there. Then you have Team Royal, which is coming in cash. That's all sources coming in. Know this. All of us are going to have a brand new job called money management. Does anybody remember me talking about that way back. I said, some of you are retired, some of you are going to retire, and whatever happens, and when we launch, you're going to have a new employment. Remember me saying that? You are going to have to manage money. All right? I knew this day was coming. I'm happy to say that it will be here very soon, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I have to make sure that you are on the right foot. It is important, to say the least, that you're on the right foot and you know how to manage cryptos the same way. So again, you're going to get a list in the mail of 4 crypto wallets that have a debit card. Now these are wallets, so it's nothing that you have to buy. The banks are what you have to purchase, which are rather expensive right now. They won't be for much longer. So it won't cost you anything to get these 4 wallets. This will not be one of them, just so you know. 4 new ones. Not new, they are on the list that I sent twice, so you've seen them before. You'll understand when you see it. Get them. Get them, get them, get them, get them. No arguments. No, I don't want them. I don't like them. Get them. Because the reason why I say that is because you're going to have the availability to move that source more than one can handle. Okay? Let's just say, for argument's sake, and for demonstration purposes, let's say that everybody gets paid on Friday, right? Now, when we launch the other 2, let's say now you're getting paid on Wednesday and Monday. Okay? Now you're looking at a Monday, Wednesday, Friday source coming in. And this one, if you only have one of the 4, you can only do so many transactions before you create a problem. Don't create the problem. Diversify. Use multiple cards to do the same process. It's just different addresses. Does that make sense? It's just an address. It's still going to do the same thing. This can go out and buy the coffee if you need to buy coffee. It can put gas in the car if you need to do that. You can do it all with that card. You can go get the gym shoes if you want. But you can also deposit to the Bank of Lewis. Isn't that interesting? You can name your bank whatever you want. To the Bank of Snoopy. Okay? But when you put it there, here's the fun part. When you put it there, how many people know it's there? 1. Unless you have a big mouth and you talk a lot, then everybody knows you put it over there. But if you do what you're supposed to, now if it's your husband, of course, he's supposed to know what you know and all that. And you know that thing. However y'all work that out. This is not marriage counseling. But anyway, you put it there and only you know about it. If you put it in these accounts up here at this establishment, how many people know it's there? Everybody. The teller, the teller's aunt, the banker, the guy that sweeps up in there. If you don't think people talk or listen to other people talking, then you haven't been outside very much, have you? People talk. And your information at that bank will be known with all the security you will take and, precautions. The people inside the bank will see these accounts. The banker that's going to help you open all these accounts knows you have them. He knows or she knows somebody else that may come in and do the same thing. And they're going to say, well, wonder why people all of a sudden are starting to get these sub accounts. Did you notice that? And they start talking, right? Now these two people are talking about a sub account escalade. Why, why is everybody doing that all of a sudden? Yeah, I just had a customer come in, ding, there you go. And then they came back a month later and opened up a brand new account and did the same thing. Now they have two. Now she or he just told that person, how many people you think that person's going to tell? Everybody at the house. I was at work today and Kevin told me that this guy came in with this beard and opened up another account and put 250 in each account. What? Now my business is being talked about around that dinner table who I don't even know. Now, I said that for this reason. When you make a deposit in the Bank of Lewis or the Bank of Snoopy or whatever you call your bank, and don't call it Bank of, this is just for demonstrational purposes, educational purposes. Call it something crazy. Octopus, coffee grounds, something that has nothing to do with money. But only you know the name of this bank, and only you know how much is going in it. And trust me when I tell you, it's going to be a lot. You're only going to put a little bit in the, your traditional bank. You're going to put enough up there to get everybody excited. I, wouldn't do too many accounts up there. But you want to have access to cash if they make it available. They're supposedly going to switch out the other stuff to the new stuff, and you'll be able to go in there and get it. Okay? But you shouldn't have to use cash like that because everything is going what? Digital. But there's a lot of people, and don't take this the wrong way, seniors that said, no, I'm not doing that old computer finagle stuff. I'm not doing it. I don't know a YouTuber or email, never touched it, and I'm not going to. So they have to have paper for them. And other people. It's not always old, so don't take that the wrong way either. There are some young people that don't mess with it. Very little, but they are there. I don't believe in that. It's the devil's thing, You get running to folks like that too. It's amazing how many people are out here that refuse to evolve. But let's stay on track, on topic. The wallets are going to work the same way. Okay, each wallet is going to have a debit card for you to shop with. Each wallet is going to make deposits to the Bank of Snoopy or Snail Butt or whatever you want to call it. Okay, it's going to do that process when you say do it. And I highly recommend that you don't leave a lot in the wallet. Even though it's on the blockchain, even though it's not accessible and it's safe, yeah, whatever. It's safe. It's as safe as you leave it. So if you leave a whole bunch on there, it's in jeopardy. Could something happen? Of course. Is everything 100%? No. Is the Bank of Snail Butt safe? Mostly, yes, because it will never see the internet. So it won't be accessible to the people who do these crimes. The only thing, and I'm always going to say this, and I need you to remember this because there's a reason why I'm getting ready to say it. The only Achilles heel to having digital storage is electricity, internet. You lose those two, this means nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, how do we alleviate that problem? Well, it's simple. Team Royal has a product called acquisition of precious metals. Acquisition of precious metals. That's what Team Royal has. That's what's making Team Royal international. So out of that, from $5 to $15,000, let's say we get in the middle at $3,000 a day. One day you take $3,000. One day you take $3,000 in gold. One day you take $3,000. The next day you take $3,000 in silver. It's called diversification. Diversification. You want everything going across the board. You want crypto. You want cash. You want digital availability, both paper and digital representation. You want the ability to choose between all of those things. Okay? Now, these other accounts that I just spoke of won't have a sub account to it. It will just have a massive safe that you have installed in your home somewhere. Okay? You want to put the coin or the precious metal, you want to get it in coin form, not blocks and bricks. Everybody wants to get these bricks. Why? You can't do anything with it but show off and say, I got a brick of gold. You can't do anything with it. You can't go buy it. Well, you can go buy something. How are you going to get change? You're not going to sit there with a buzzsaw and cut the thing in half and hand you the other half. So it's impractical. Now, if you want to just buy one just so you have one, by all means do it. Why not? One brick of gold, one brick of silver. Every other week, just go in there and polish it, because that's really all you can do with it. But all of the other stuff that you're going to get in smaller formats. We'll get to that later. This part 2 was to finish up the wallets and the processes of these wallets. It's going to be the exact same thing. The wallets will also be connected to, your bank. You can have 9 wallets. You can have 10 wallets. They're all sending to the same bank. You're not going to get 10 banks. There's no need. These things hold enough. You can hold a couple trillion on this thing all by itself. If you have 2, 3, or 4 of them, you got enough storage. It's the way you get it there. The wallets. You need more than one wallet. Okay? At least 4. I would suggest the 4 that I'm going to send you guys. Get them. Doesn't cost anything. Well, 2 of them you have to buy it. But, if you have a Cash App, you don't have to buy. Well, do they charge for that thing? Yeah. If you get the custom card, it costs. Cash App spends Bitcoin. Isn't that amazing? So 90% of you, if you have Cash App, you already have a setup and didn't even know it. You can move Bitcoin on Cash App. And it has a wallet. It has a debit card. Where's my wallet? My other wallet. So this is one of them right off the top. And it is a wallet, has an address, right? So in this wallet, gotta make sure I ain't showing numbers. This is the Cash App wallet. Okay. This, I can go to the store and buy gas. I can go buy whatever I need with this card. And I can have it pulled from whichever. Now, it doesn't spend Bitcoin like the other ones will. You still have to convert it. So you can take the Bitcoin into Cash App and then you sell it. Okay. Right in the back office, you don't have to do anything. You just click on sell balance. So if you pulled in 2 Bitcoin and you click sell balance, you're selling 2 Bitcoin. And then all of a sudden, when someone has the money to buy it from you, your Cash App balance will blow a socket because all of a sudden there's $80,000 in it. Okay. When it's in the Cash App balance, then that card can go buy up whatever you want. But it has limits. Look in there, go into Cash App and click on limits. It's under one of the corners. You click on it and then go through card, and it'll say you can use this many times, you can deposit this much, da 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 da. Go in there and either do a screenshot or write it down. You have to know what your wallet's capabilities are. That's why you need more than one. Now, does it make sense why I'm saying you need so many? They have limits for now. That could change. It really could change. I think, what is it? The QFS may have a wallet that's endless. You can put $1 billion on it. Would you want to do that? No, of course not. That's just an exaggeration, of course. I don't know. We will find out when they release it. But for the most part, when we launch A Promise Delivered and when we're in Team Royal, we need options. You need options to be able to move these funds and where to put them. So right now, you're going to have 4.5 to 4.5. I say the half because you can't really spend Bitcoin with Cash App. You actually have to sell it and then you can spend. But those wallets that have a debit card spend what you put in there. So if you put Bitcoin in there, it'll spend Bitcoin like money. That's why they don't want you to have it. That's why they're trying to make it go away. They don't want you to be free. Because that gives you freedom. Number one, you become your own banker. That's the main thing for me. Because I don't like banks, traditional banks, because they treat you wrong. You become the banker, all that mistreatment goes away. Unless you just like mistreating yourself. I don't. All of those restrictions and limits go away. To a point, you're still going to have limits on these cards. Whatever card you get, the first thing you want to do is go into the features of the card and find out transaction limits. Okay, do a piece of paper or in your notebook. You guys are supposed to have a notebook. In your notebook, you're going to put page 1 of Coinbase, and you're going to write out, I can make this many, this and that. I can do this much. I can put this much. Write it all out. Anything that you write, you remember. I don't know if you guys know that. If you write it, because of the mechanics of writing it out, you remember it. But if you go somewhere and read it and then go somewhere else, what did it say? But I guarantee if you read it, then write it down, and then go somewhere else, oh yeah, you can only do 6 transactions because you remember, because you wrote it. Okay? I think that covers everything that I wanted to cover today or to catch up with. I'm going to send Rhonda a link to the 4 cards separately.
Montalvo,
yes.
if that was in the email, if that was that one, I already have posted them in the chat on the group right there in the Zoom and in my chat. If it's that same one you sent out in the email.
No, it's not. It's going to be a new one. I don't have them yet.
Okay, thank you.
The other thing that I want to put on there, and I did put it in the chat, is that we all have to get on this call. Right now, there's 44 people. On Saturday's call, it's about the same, 70, 60 people. There's 400 on the list. Something is not right. And again, it's going to be up to each and every one of us to get the information so that you can do the right thing. So you already know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is we're going to launch, and the information that's there will explain as best as it can. And 300 and some odd people are going to send an email. Well, when do we get paid? What's a wallet? And you know what I'm going to do? Click. This is, and I'm only sharing with you guys. This is not directed to you. I'm so happy that you're here and you took the time to be here. But there's a lot of people that are not. For whatever reason that is, if they're only in it for the money, still going to not even get that because they're not going to know how to get it. You know what I mean? People don't think. And I want to appreciate and let you know I appreciate all of you that are here this afternoon for a makeup call. And I want to also thank Rhonda, Margaret, and anyone else that has helped me to this point. We are almost done. And trust me, it's taken too long. So I can be the first one to say, will you hurry up? Trust me, I'm on the same boat. I just happen to own it. But I know we're almost done. We have a lot to do as far as understanding the concepts and making ourselves ready. The website and A Promise Delivered is simple. It's really simple. It's not as dramatic as I make it out to be, but it's a process. And if you're not aware of the process, it becomes difficult. Okay, so if you've never roller skated before in your life and you put on a pair of roller skates and step out on that floor, what's going to happen? On your hiney. But if you go to the roller rink and you sit down and listen to an instructor and they say, this is how you lace the shoes or boots so you don't hurt yourself. This is how you stand up. This is how you fall. You have an understanding of skating. So when you do lace up your skates, you ease onto the floor and follow the instructions. I have not seen anyone yet put on a pair of roller skates for the first time in their life and go around that rink and then turn around and go around the rink backwards. Can I tell you, that was the most terrifying day I have ever spent in an establishment, learning how to skate backwards. So I know what it is to learn something complex. But if you show up for the understanding of it, it's not complex. It's just a process. And that's what A Promise Delivered is. It's a process. The more you guys are just going to fly through it. 300 people are going to be like, how you do it? And all I can say is, I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be a challenge. But like I said, thank you everybody for coming. Let's go into Q&A. If you have questions, I'm gonna record them. Let them fly.
Montavo, I have one that several people asked me. So I want to clarify here on the recording. It's my assumption that the information you're giving about sub-accounts is for our own personal growth. Very good information, and we should try to work towards that. Some people stressed out and felt it was a requirement for them to have it done now. Could you clarify, please?
No, it is not required. It is knowledge that you're going to need, because when you make it through Team Royal, what do you do at $15,000 a day? You're going to put it all in one account and have it uninsured and lose it? And they can literally take it and there's nothing you can do. This is knowledge. It's not required. Peter?
Montalvo, I have a question that needs two answers, actually. You talked today about the traditional accounts versus the crypto accounts, but I've been following the Team Royal weekly meetings. They also are going to have specialized bank accounts, very specialized ones. And shouldn't that be entered into the discussion, even though I know you don't want to get specific about Team Royal yet, but also when we have cryptocurrency, will we be able um, to will Team Royal will the Team Royal organization be able to take our crypto and put it into some of those accounts, the specialized accounts?
Yeah, well, here's what's going to happen with that. And what's going to happen is very simple. So the first question, I believe, was, what was the first question?
The first question was, aren't those specialized accounts, Team Royal accounts that we're going to be encountering, aren't they going to be factored into your discussion here? You haven't even mentioned them because they're going to be they're very attractive, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, that's going to be done on the Team Royal call when that comes. See, right now we're not in there yet. There's a few of us that are still there.
Mm-hmm. The
Team Royal call will be password protected because I'm not talking about our stuff. Okay, so yes, it will be discussed. Not yet.
Will we be able to purchase it if we want to avail ourselves of one of those specialized accounts that they speak of? I won't mention any names. Will we be able to use crypto to get into those accounts?
Like I said, I believe they're going to go that route because they're already talking about it. Let's get to that point first.
Okay.
What I'm imagining is going to happen is that what we're about to do with Team Royal, then they'll take my suggestions a little bit more serious.
Okay.
So I've already suggested to them to carry cryptos. But at that point, I didn't have no pool just yet, but I will very shortly.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Amy?
Hi there. I just wanted to find out whether you got my money that I sent Cash App yesterday and my note.
I believe I haven't had a chance to get to that yet, but let me look real quick while I got you. Ding!
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much.
And I'll go in and make sure that that's taken care of.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, any other questions?
Montalvo, Allen here.
Yes, sir.
I gotta say this. You hit on a passion of mine, roller skating. I loved it. Skate backwards, forwards, all of that back in the day. I started at 19 years old, man, and I got hooked on that like crazy, going at least twice a week. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, that was one passion in my life I was doing for a long time. long time. But yeah, backward skating for me, no, it's a breeze. But anyway, I just wanted to throw this in. These sub wallets, you probably know as some other people do. The Trust wallet, and I believe probably Exodus too, I'm not sure. You can get as many sub accounts as you want in Trust. I've got 5 of them. You know, all of them have their own 12 seed words, you know, and it all comes in the first Trust account you got. All you got to do is just, you'll see it, well, people see how to do it. Wallet 1, wallet 2, wallet 3, 4. You go all the way up to 100 or more.
Mhm.
So you can, I mean, I wouldn't advise you to do it because it's a whole cold wallet. But like I said, you can have $1 billion spread over 100 wallets. You know,
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating. So that's just another thing. It's there in crypto. Also, and let me see if they're still here. Yeah, Rhonda Moore. I hope she chimes in because she's got some questions. And I told her since you're doing this to come on and come in. So I hope she will chime in and ask you her questions. Uh, so with that being said, that's all I had to say.
Okay.
All right.
Rhonda, if you have a question, thank you, Alan. Rhonda,
Sure.
if you have a question, just click your microphone.
Yes, Matavo, this is Rhonda Moore. I think you already answered my question. I'm just waiting on the how do I put this? You said there were 4 wallets that take whatever. I'm just waiting for that information to come to us.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Didn't you say you had a question about Solana, Rhonda?
I think that's one of the 4. It's just that what we had before, once you press it, it has so many avenues to go. I just wanted one address to tap it and see how we are to obtain these things. It goes from one part to another part to another part. So I just need the one address.
If you need
Yes.
information on surrendering a pet.
Yep, it's one of them. It'll be explained in the email. Anybody else?
Yeah, Montalvo, this is Veronica, and I'm asking, is it possible for others to join ATB at this time, or are we at the cutoff number?
No. There's no cutoff yet, or may not even be one. But there's a process. And the process is just like you found out about it. Someone invited you. I would prefer they come to a call so they can ask questions like you're doing. Once they know who I am, what this is about, why we're doing it, all that good stuff, they would fill out the form, which you can get off of Rhonda's chat, and or from, I believe you're with Alan.
Yes.
I'm sure Alan has that information as well. They need to fill out that a promise delivered entry form, and then they are supposed to send $25 for their admin fee, and then they will be marked off, and then basically that's it. So it's still open. It's going to stay wide open. I just don't want people to say, "Come over here and get $5.5 million." Don't do that.
No. I didn't intend to do that. I just wanted
Yeah.
to know if there's an opportunity for others.
Yes, absolutely.
Montalvo, could I butt in here? I also, by your question you asked Monica in the chat, I included your answer, and I also included the link for the chat. Have her join, and I believe you're already in it. I think you are, but if not, join. And I post all those things there too, the forms and everything she'll need.
Okay.
It was my
Thank
fault.
you.
You're welcome. I forgot to add your link to the email, but I'll send it with these 4 cards because that's going to go to the same group. It's going to go to everybody. So everybody
Perfect. Thank
has a
you.
link to get in there.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Anybody else?
Good evening, Montalvo. This is Jackie. I got on late because I was working. When I came in, you was talking about the main bank. Are you talking about the main personal bank that we're already located in, or there's something else that you're talking about?
Yeah, that's your main checking account that you already have.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All this information really on the main bank account and subs and all that is literally just to teach everybody how to actually use a bank account. Because not many people do what I just went over. There are some, but very little.